if you just get the correct tongue posture, which is pushing up against something called your palate, you will push something forward, which is called your maxilla, aka your upper jaw. That will push forward your lower jaw, aka something called your mandible, which will give you something called forward jaw growth, so you won't be caught in 4K like I did on these pictures. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can get a correct tongue posture and neck posture, and some exercises that we can do to quickly get more forward growth so you will have the same looking jawline as a model before 4 months. So step number 1, how bad neck posture and tongue posture leads to a recessed jawline. So there's a story that I quickly want to tell you, and this is from back in 2021. Around this time period, I was sitting in my home, and all the time after I came home from school, I will always use to hop on a certain video game called Fortnite. And whenever I was on this Fortnite game, I would always play something called solo battle or something like that. Basically, I was just playing by myself against some other kids online, and I would always try to beat them, which I never fucking did. I was pretty shit at the game, but I really enjoyed still the thought of making progress in the game. But whenever I used to play these kind of video games, every single day, I had forward neck posture. So basically, I didn't sit up straight like I'm doing now. I had this kind of what we call the video gamer posture, where it's like your hands are on the keyboard and your neck are kind of forward like this, and then you're just playing like this, you know. And obviously over time, when I did this enough, obviously my posture would get more fucked. So basically my neck will start to just come more forward, and the problem is that when our head and skull starts to come more forward, our head will fall down because of the weight, and when our head falls down, our tongue will not be pushing against our palate, basically the roof of our mouth, which will fuck up our, like, what could you say, our jawline. Basically, we will unmute ourselves. So over enough time, like I played video games for like years. It was basically the only thing that I could do when I was younger. So when I did all these things, obviously my posture got worse. And when my posture got worse, I started to mouth breathe, because obviously when your head is hanging like this, your tongue isn't against the roof of your mouth. And it's like I had some problems with also a stuffy nose. So like I kept feeling like I couldn't breathe through my nose, so I had to do it through my mouth. But then something interesting happened. I discovered a YouTube video with a thumbnail, something around the lines with how to fix your posture. And I saw this kind of before picture with a guy head being really forwards, and then another guy having a straight jawline, a straight neck posture. And that's when I started to become more obsessed with this. And he talked about the exact same things that I'm talking about this video, that we are mouth breathing and that's why we get bad posture, all of these different things. And that's when I figured out how to fix our posture, especially like our neck posture. And the best solution, like the action step that I want you to do, is to do something called chin tucks. So basically you're just standing up against a wall with your head, shoulders, and butt against the wall, so you have a straight line with your body. And then what you want to think about doing is that you want to think about having as many double chins as possible when you try to bring your chin downwards to like your throat area. So it will kind of look like this. Basically, as you can see, you're trying to make as many double chins as possible. That's how you really activate something called your hyoid bone as well. But I will talk about that in the next step, because basically for now you just need to understand that when we do these kind of chin tucks, you will first of all train that your neck should come backwards again. Sure enough, your jawline might look a little bit worse, because as you can see here, if I get my jaw out like this, right, it will kind of stretch my jaw so it will look better. But if I get it inwards and have a good posture, it will kind of make my jawline in a way look worse, but trust me, the results will be so much better in the long term. But that is actually not the only thing that I figured out was the reason for why we had bad posture. Obviously, because of the positions that we are putting ourselves in throughout the day. For example, maybe you could be a video gamer, just like I was. So that's why we want to train 2 other muscles as well to get a correct neck posture. So the first muscle is something called your rear delts. So your rear delts is the muscle that you have right behind your shoulder, which basically gives you a 3D look. I will talk about that in a different video, but basically when we train this muscle, you will actually strengthen your shoulders so they aren't rolled forward. A lot of people have this kind of rolled shoulders look instead of having this good like back rolled shoulder look, how you would say it. And that's actually because most people haven't been training their rear delts. So that's one of the things that you can do as well. What you will simply just do is go to the gym, and then you will simply just do something called a reverse pec fly machine exercise. Basically you just do an exercise like this. I will also put a video up so you can see how to do it. The second muscle we can train is actually your neck muscle. So we actually have a muscle in our neck in the back here, and we can actually train this by just simply doing something called neck extensions. So basically you just want to have your head tilted forward, and then you want to have some kind of a weight on top of you, or you can get like a kind of a rope where you can attach weight to, and then you can just lift your neck. That's the best exercise in my opinion. But obviously fixing like your neck posture and your jaw area is just one part of the puzzle. If you really want to take your looks to the next level so you can look like a model, you need to train something that I call the 4 key facial muscles. When these 4 key facial muscles are trained, you will get this kind of transformation. And that is exactly what I teach inside of my program. Because in this program, I will not only teach you how to get an aesthetic face, even though your genetics are shit, but I will also teach you how to get an aesthetic body. All of this I will literally teach inside of just my program. So if you're interested in that, then go have a look at the top link of the description. All the details are there. So now that we know the cause for why we have a recessed mandible, aka like your lower jaw area here, we can actually do some exercise to speed up this forward growth process that we want to go through. And there's actually a bone that we can train in order for us to improve these kind of looks. So that's why step number 2 is to train your hyoid bone. So basically our hyoid bone is a muscle that we have right around our throat area here. It's just an easy way to remember it. Basically, this hyoid bone is responsible for a lot of different things. Basically, it's aligned to a lot of muscles. Basically, our mandible muscle, our neck muscles. So obviously, if we start to have a weak hyoid bone, we will actually start fucking up our tongue posture, because again, our neck will start to get fucked up and our jaw will start to get fucked up. Just like I told you in the first step, which will begin to fuck up our mouth breathing and the way that we place our tongue. And there's actually a story that I want to tell you with this. So back in 2023, I think it was around this time period, I was in my college. And in my college, me and some of my friends in my friend group, we were sitting at a table in a straight line. And we had just gotten an assignment for. So we quickly made this assignment and we uploaded it to the teachers. But afterwards, we just kind of did our own thing. I was watching on my computer a table tennis match, and the other guys were just doing their own thing. I don't remember, maybe they were playing some video games of some sort. But the important thing about this story was that all of a sudden, while I was so locked in on this table tennis match, I could hear my friends start to laugh. And not only laugh, but it's that kind of laughter where you can just tell that they are looking at you. If you have ever experienced that before, like you are in school and somebody's making fun of you, you can kind of tell all of a sudden everyone is just looking at you. So that's why I started to look up from like my match, and I looked to my side, and I was looking at them and they were dying of laughter. And that's when I asked them, like, what are you laughing about? And that's when they said that they didn't actually say it, but they showed me. They showed me their phone of a picture of me that they had taken. Because I was so focused on this table tennis match, I had forward head posture, but also I was mouth breathing, and my jaw looked so fucking resist. So ugly. Because of this event happened, I went straight home and I kept on researching about how I could fix this kind of floppy skin that I had under my chin here. Because the thing is, I wasn't fat. I was very lean. I was at like 10% body fat, around that kind of percentage. So I was really wondering, why the fuck does it look like I have fat hanging under my chin area here? And that's when I figured out that there's two reasons for this. First of all, you're overweight, so you just need to lose weight. But the second thing is that it's your hyoid bone that you need to train, because your hyoid bone is also responsible for your skin here tightening up. So here's the 3 best exercises that I have learned on how to train your hyoid bone. And the first one of those is actually a progressive kind of overload of the chin tucks. So the chin tucks was just a normal one where you think about your chin touching your throat area and you try to make as many chins, double chins as possible. But this newer version, or progressively overloaded version, is where you take your thumbs together like you would be praying, and then you take your thumbs under like your chin here, and then you want to think about pushing it upwards so you resist against like the downward motion. And then what you want to do is just that you want to do the same thing. Now you just want to think about doing the chin tuck again, and now you will feel a much more heavier burn at your hyoid bone. It will be so much more effective for your hyoid bone. The second exercise that you can do is one of the most important exercises that you can do. It's the one that I like the most, and it's basically just a neck curl. So not an extension, but a curl. Basically how we want to do this is that we want to lie with our head at the end of our bed or something similar. It can be a bench as well from like the gym. And then you want to think about touching your chin into this part area here. Like you can see, you kind of have a hole in like your neck or throat area here. You just want to think about touching this part to that part. And then you want to think about not lifting your head like you're a rock star. You don't want to do that. You want to think about you're rolling your neck into this part. That will give you the best activation you've ever felt. The third exercise is also a really good one. It's a bit similar to the first one, but this one is just called the prayer. So again, we take our hands together just like if we would be praying. And then we want to take our thumbs up against again, and then just apply pressure downwards with our jawline like this. When we just do these 3 exercises, or just one of them, we will start to see crazy results if we just train this hyoid bone 3 times a week. But there's something difficult about these exercises, because obviously I can tell you over this video face to face how to do it, but I can't see you do it. Just like if you wanted a personal coaching guy teaching you how to do the form at the gym, for example, how to do the bench press, right? And he can kind of help you lift the weight properly. He can tell you, oh, you're actually doing this thing wrong. It's not the same as if you just watch a video, like a YouTube tutorial on how to do the bench press. It will still take a lot of time to learn how to do the form properly and to know if you're doing it right. And that's why in my program I also have coaching calls where we have one-on-one coachings, so I can literally personally review your form when you're doing the exercise, so you will save so much time. If you're interested in that, I will highly recommend you to go down and click the top link of the description. It will be the best investment of your life, and I will do everything in my power to transform your face so you will become as good looking as a model. So that was the end of this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And something that I quickly want to tell you is that I'm very proud of you for watching this video. Because think about what you have actually done. You have been educating yourself. You could have been doing so many other different things, like watching fucking Netflix, scrolling on Instagram, doing something unproductive. But you have actually chosen to learn about how to improve yourself, and I'm so proud of you for that. Fuck the black pillars who says that you can't change your fucking looks. Of course we can. And that's why that I know that if you watched this far of the video, I know that you will be the right person for this YouTube channel. And that's why I would highly recommend you to go down and click subscribe to this channel so you can become the most attractive version of yourself. If you want to keep on learning, then go have a look at this video over here. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah!